Welcome back aboard BLERD FORCE 1 with your boys Mo and Ladi. And today we're reviewing Invincible Season 2, Episode 8. It is the season finale, and it is called I Thought You Were Stronger, come to you from Amazon Prime Video. So, what did we think about it, and should you be watching? And before we get into this review, get down there, hit like on this video. Well, Ladi, here we are at the end of Season 2. It's only been like 3 years in the making, but hey, you know what? Who's counting, right? Because this is like we're getting into this with Invincible. The season finale is like ridiculously violent. And a lot of things are happening in it. They're bringing together to a close a storyline, or are they? And they're setting up future storylines. But there's a big old knockdown drag out in this. Lots of blood, lots of change to Mark and his life. So all that being said, I'm being very vague. Ladi, what did you think about this episode? Did they land this plane? Was it good?
Did they land a plane? What type of question is this? They did not just land a plane. The plane did backflips in midair right before landing. Somehow, some way, they created a season finale better than first season. And man, this episode was good. I thought episode 7 was good. The episode 8 said, "Hold my beer." The amount of character development that went through. I mean, listen, I was at the edge of my seat the entire episode, especially the first 30 minutes. The play of the name, I Thought You Were Stronger, which we will talk about in spoilers, how great of a title and how profound those few words mean.
Yeah.
Just honestly, man, that episode it's literally a masterpiece, man. Like, I might be over exaggerating, but I've watched the episode like 3 or 4 times now. And each and every time, I'm just I loved it each and every time I watched it.
I'm sure Robert Kirkman will be really happy to hear that, because he was the writer on this episode. Which, by the way, he has really come into his own as a screenwriter. I'd have to say, coming from comics. Like, he cut his teeth over on Walking Dead, but he wrote this one. He brought it all home. And I haven't watched it 3 or 4 times. I only watched it one time. But my God, was it violent?
Oh yeah. Oh.
But seeing Angstrom Levy be a legit threat, but only because Mark was holding back. Like, get what I'm saying? Only because Mark was holding back. If he was like the Invincible, like, spoiler alert, Angstrom Levy has, he has memories from his other selves who experienced all of the other Marks. And apparently Mark is basically evil in every universe except this one. That sounds about right. It's basically evil in every one of them except this one. But this is the only one that Levy has access to at this moment. Well, really, he's got a mad on for Mark because he sort of messed up his whole, super brain, alternate universe thing.
It's the only Mark he feels that he could kill.
Yeah, because
that is literally it.
Yeah, he's not going to any other alternate reality and taking out Invincibles, as far as we know. Maybe he was doing that when Mark was, off in space or something, but we don't know. But it turned into what I consider, it could have just been like straight up just a fight, but it actually became more of a character study for Mark, alternate Marks, and for who Angstrom Levy is. Because Angstrom Levy, he didn't want to kill Mark the first time when the alternate Maulers were about to beat him to death. He messed himself up because he didn't want them to murder him. So the Angstrom Levy from this reality apparently is a actually good person. He just wants to, deal with the threat of the Viltrumites.
He's not. That's not the Angstrom Levy from our. Angstrom Levy does not exist in this universe. Because remember, he said he's from a different
Okay,
universe.
yeah,
When you first
okay.
see him in episode
So
one.
whoever,
Angstrom
yeah.
Levy does not exist in this universe.
So
which might
this
be
universe
one of the
doesn't have
reasons
one.
why. Yeah, it might be one of the reasons why Mark is actually good in this universe.
It's just
'Cause
weird.
Angstrom Levy is not there.
Yeah, there's a lot of like alternate, like multiversal stuff is popular among everything right now. Invincible sort of was doing it a while ago, but like the point is that this Mark is good. This Angstrom Levy, the sum of all Angstrom Levies is bad, and it's really because he has all these other memories that he can't look at this Mark, as his own person and not his alternate selves who are terrible. Mm-hmm. And so, and because Mark is good, Angstrom Levy has a chance to not be, one shot killed immediately. And he goes off. Like, I guess we sort of start spoiling, but he really injures the shit out of Debbie. And Debbie's like mom of the year in this fucking episode. Like, let's get, like, for having no powers, she really has a huge impact. But she, she's in there, she's standing in the pocket. She's going to sit there and take all the blows to save Oliver. That's her kid now. So like huge respect to her. And then just really the multiversal shenanigans that are going on between the two of them as they fight. And who, like, Ladi, how long do you think Mark was actually in the multiverse? Like, how long?
Probably about a week.
Dude was all over the place. And I loved the fact that they had a lot of fun with this episode. Yes, this is a very heavy episode. A lot of terrible things happen. We'll talk about the way it kind of ends, the fight between Levy and Mark ends, but Kirkman had a chance to have a lot of fun with this. And part of it is, of course, the cameos. We get a fake ass Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus cameo. And we also get a sort of Batman, but probably Kirkman's just like, oh, it's not Batman, but yeah, it's fucking Batman, and we get the Walking Dead. Angstrom Levy sends him to a zombie universe, and he goes, it looks like he goes to a Mad Max universe, right? He's just going across the multiverse, and just having this horrible, I don't want to call it horrible, but horrible, like, walkabout, wondering what the hell's going on back home. I thought, look, I've been rambling on. I thought this was a great episode. It had me yelling at the screen, pointing at the screen like Leonardo DiCaprio, clapping my hands, just all that stuff that makes me an annoying person to watch cool ass shit with. But like, I thought it was great, and the ending of it. And the setup for next season, which hopefully will come much faster than this one did, with Alan and Nolan about to stage some kind of jailbreak. I'm just like, God dang it! Like, that's a great way to end this. But man, I'm ready. I'm ready for the next season. So, Ladi, you got more thoughts?
Yeah, man. I love whenever like a super strong character has that moment of like, yeah, by the way, I've been holding back this entire time. And here's he did the Rock Lee drop the weights off. But here's a legit question that I've asked people who watched it. How long has he been holding back? Some people think it's just against Angstrom Levy. I don't know about that. I think Mark has been holding back ever since he's gotten his powers. The only time he's let loose properly is trying to stay alive against his dad, and then when he was in that fight with the Viltrumites with Thrax. He may have tried to go hard against Anissa, but I don't think so. It didn't matter, but like, I don't think he did because he doesn't want to cause collateral damage. Yeah. Well, when he finally goes hard, and look, Angstrom Levy, he was like, I got all these body upgrades, and I'm like, that sounds good, but did you test them against a Viltrumite first? Yes. maybe do that. Like, I'm just saying, you can spend the time to get upgraded. Good for you.
you didn't fight anybody that was like, did you go try to beat up an alternate universe Immortal? Like, that would have given you a decent, if the Immortal punched you and it hurt, you're not ready. Like, that's it. So speaking of the Immortal, another spoiler is, hey, Duplicate's not actually dead. I knew this because I had a spoiler about this, but it makes sense. Like, if you can make multiple, like, Duplicate is basically Multiple Man from Marvel Universe, but Multiple Man, Jamie Madrox, never, ever, ever is just him there by himself. He has duplicates of himself all over the world. So you can't actually kill him unless you destroy the Earth. So Kate, Duplicate coming back, cool, good for them, and it's nice. It's nice that they got to have their little reunion. But most of this really was about, picking up the pieces after Angstrom Levy, did his thing. And look, the whole title, I Thought You Were Stronger, because he fucking, he did the wrong thing. You threatened my family, and Mark just flipped. And when a Viltrumite flips, it's over. It's done. And he beat the man to death, like beat him into a pulp. And Mark having to deal with that. This is why the writing's so good. Mark having to deal with that, he has to justify it to himself. And then he realizes, no, I can't justify this to myself. I let myself off the leash, and I killed this guy on purpose. This wasn't an accident. I wanted him dead. And what does that mean for me as a person? Really, good stuff. And Ladi, then, you think he's stranded on this, post-apocalyptic world, and then the Guardians of the Globe come in, and, future Guardians of the Globe come in and help him to get back. And we see, Eve is just like, look, I loved you, and I never told you, so go tell her how you feel. And of course they don't do that, but because we gotta stretch this stuff out. I think it's nice that they're laying the groundwork for this, though.
And then somehow Rex became robot. I think Monster Girl is pretty much just like a fetus now and can never change back.
Well, wasn't that? Yeah, she was Monster Girl in the back, so she can't change back. That makes sense. I'm like, what the hell? But here's the thing. Was that Rex? Well, didn't he base his body on Rex?
Yeah, but she would not call him Rex.
Yeah, no,
that's Rex.
But Rex is in the role. Yeah, let me just say, I love that for him. If we're talking about this season, obviously this is about Mark. There's been side stories here and there, but god damn it, they literally made me like Rex now. How the fuck did they do that? I don't get, like, I'm a legit fan of him as a character, and I want the best things for him in life. And they did in the course of 8 episodes. I went from what a douche to like, nah, that's my dude. So yeah, good job, y'all. Ladi, for the future, it looks like Omni-Man and Alan are about to break out of a big old Viltrumite prison. And it's definitely going down. Like, Nolan's back to his full strength, right? He's ready to go. So I'm ready for that. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Mark is dropping out of college, which, fuck yeah. Why? I've been wondering about that, and he's right. He's like, what am I gonna be, a dentist? And I'm like, that's fair. Is that not a fair thing? He's gonna get
like, why? Can you imagine in the middle of him like brushing teeth? Hey, there's a meteor coming to the planet. Hey, hold on, I'll be right back. Woo! Like, come on, man.
Nolan was a writer, right? So he could just up and do whatever the fuck he wanted. Mark is, it makes sense to me.
Just difference between Mark and his dad, because this is the thing that people talked about too. They're like, well, his dad had a balanced this in life. I said yes, because his dad was a Viltrumite, and only was doing it as a ploy. Mark actually gives a shit about the planet. You know, he's not, like I said, he's more like Superman instead of a hero for hire. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, but I think it makes sense for it because he is scared of himself right now. And, you know, as much as his mom's like, you did the right thing by killing this guy so he can never come back and bother us. And that may be true. But that doesn't take away the fact that Mark doesn't trust himself with his power. And so that's his maturity coming into play, where he's like, no, nothing's more important now than me learning, you know, how to control myself no matter what's happening. Because if I don't, I'm tearing people's heads off and shit like that. I'm gonna kill somebody because I'm out of control. And I love that he's growing up enough to realize that, like, no, I am the strongest person on this planet, and I have a responsibility. I'm so looking forward. I'm looking forward to like some like they're the Guardians, not so much because they kind of sucked this season, but they did seem to come back around towards the end where they realize the shit ain't a fucking game and they're kind of getting in the game properly. So I'm glad that that's true. And just overall, you know, Amber, obviously she's going to get pushed to the side. There's not going to work. So
yeah, unfortunately.
And it is, again, for the writing, seeing Mark go through all of this, like none of the fighting and shit would matter to me if I didn't realize that Mark was just like wrestling with so many things. You know, he's still not over his dad's, you know, he's still not over that. He's still not over, he's got a little brother that's growing up really fast, and he's got a responsibility to his mom, and he feels the pressure of being a hero. And he's just a teenager. He's really trying to, you know, he's a college kid. He's trying to figure his way out through life, but he also has to protect the planet and all the Viltrumites, right? So there's all this stuff going on. And I love just seeing him as a person trying to navigate that, learn, grow, be a different person than he was at the beginning of this season. So I could go on. I loved it. I think this was a great season, even with the split in the middle. I think it was great, and I can't wait for season 3. So, what say you, sir?
It better come out next year. Just saying.
True that.
Don't do that bullshit and don't do that half season fuck shit. Just come out with the 8 episodes, man. Please. I need y'all to give me those episodes like premiering in like November or December. I'm just saying that would be nice. Just do it. So anyway, those are all our thoughts on this final episode of season 2. What did you guys think about it? What did you think about what we had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit us up. It's supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, blerd_force1 on Instagram and on Threads, and super_not_funny_show on TikTok. And while you're down there, do us a favor, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All that good stuff helps more people to see content just like this. All right, thanks for joining us. Come back to the channel. We're going to be talking about more nerd stuff, more superhero things, all that good stuff. So come back and check us out. Until then, I've been Mo, your comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Ladi. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
We'll be right back.